Alright, so welcome back to Haas to Glory here on F124. Now, you might be pondering to yourselves, Fat Crim, it says there that this is round number 10, and well, in your last episode it said round number 8, so what in good God's name happened to round number 9? Well, for some reason I just could not stop crashing. I ended up driving by myself at the back of the pack for about half race distance, kept spinning every other corner. I decided at that point to just sack it off. So here we are for round number 10 at Spa. Alright, so welcome to qualifying. It's been a while since I've actually been into the garage and I'm speaking to you. Usually in recent times I just go straight out on track, but let's take a look at what kind of lap times are being set. Now, of course, I am going to be measuring myself to my teammate, and that's it, because realistically, in the world of Formula 1, that's all you got to go up against. Every car is different. There's no point comparing myself to an RB or a Sauber. I might as well compare myself to my teammate. And at the moment, Hulkenberg is last, excluding me, of course, because I've not been out, with a 1 minute 43.351. So that's the target time. Is our fuel nice and low? Yes, it is. Let's do this thing. Now, before I head into my first quali run, if you could please like the video, because for some odd reason, YouTube looks at that and goes, hang on a minute here, this video must be world class. Let's show it to thousands more people. So if you could do that, that'd be much appreciated. And anyway, let's begin this first quali lap. Now, it's been a very long time since I've driven at this track, and it has been quite a while since I've last played this game full stop. So I am going to be a little bit on the rusty side, but, you know, after a few laps I should be okay. Turn 1 was pretty decent. A 31.1 is going to be the first sector time from none other than Yuki Tsunoda. Flat through Eurasian Radion, because you're supposed to. I don't see why you wouldn't go flat out, to be honest. Now, with the overtake, I'm going to go down to about 35%. Actually, I'll just do 40. And through sector 1, I'm going to be a tenth of a second up. I backed my straight line speed for that one. It is pretty good, although I have gone wide through the chicane. You got to make sure to not go too far over that left curb. You will get stuck. It is a nasty little sausage, that one. You got to be careful at that inside curb. That was really stinky, but I could have a nice run through here because of it. On the gravel. Don't think it was off track limits. If it is, I don't really care. I lost time anyway. And then we're going to gradually lift through Pujon. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know if you pronounce it like a Frenchman or like a, you know, I was going to say a normal person then, but that's a bit outrageous, like an English person. Sector 2 coming through. It's been a bit stinky, but I am still 0.2 of a second up on Yuki Tsunoda. Ew, okay, this lap time is pretty good so far. Let's try not bottle it through the bus stop. And here we come then. Here is the bus stop. Nice on the brakes. Keep it wide through part 1. A little bit wide through part 2. Gas it on the exit. Over the line, it's going to be a 142.8. And we are going to put it P15 for a first lap, and not the best of laps. That is very good. We are pacey at Spa today on 110 difficulty as well. Come on. I'm very happy with that. So, you know the drill. We go back to the garage. We put on some new tyres. And we try and find some improvement. Right, now this is slightly concerning. I don't think I'm going to make it to the line. It's going to be very, very close. I might have to skip some of the track to make it. I'm not going to make it. Go! Please! No! Oh my goodness. I can't believe what has just happened here at Spa. Oh my Christ. There is no feasible way that has just occurred here today. Wow. And I tell you what, it's not the first time I've done that. I've done it quite a few times, and not just in my own, but also on videos. And I've restarted the quali session just so I can get that final run. And yeah, so that hasn't worked out entirely to plan. I still managed to out-qualify my teammate, but what is really heartbreaking is the fact that I could have found upwards of about 3 to 4 tenths of a second. I could have easily been top 14. I mean, as you can see, there's quite a bit of a gap between 14th and 13th. I could have been here. An extra 4 places up. Wow, okay. Not much to comment on there. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, what a fantastic result. It just isn't. The car is better than P18. I'm just a bottle job, and I always forget how long these laps of Spa actually is. So we head into the race. starting P18 and P20. And here we go for Grand Prix Sunday. It's lovely and sunny, and that's just what we want to see, because I cannot be dealing with rain at Spa in P18. It's just not on. Luckily for me, though, I don't have to deal with that. And I was actually watching that footage back, and there was quite a lot of that final sector where I had my ERS to none. Which, of course, you know, that's what I would normally do, but since I was against the clock, if I just put hot lap on, or even medium, I probably would have made it. So that is really, really frustrating, but it's happened, it's done, we're P18, and whatever. Now, there could be some potential engine penalties. Nope, we will be starting P18, that is now confirmed. We'll get the fuel down to 1.1 extra laps. Strategy, we're actually going to be utilising the soft tyres today. The tyre wear doesn't look too bad, to be honest. I'm just going to stick with what they've given me. Downforce was okay, my straight line speed was very competitive. And I think we're ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. Here we go then. I still haven't had a good start on this game. Will today be any different? Yes, yes. A good start. No way. Let's get to the outside of Ricardo into turn 1. Break. Oh, almost did a Hungary then. Try go around the outside of some cars. That isn't going to work. Get on the power nice and early. And I've actually managed to go around the outside of Lewis. Whoa! Whoa! Lewis! Ah, we can't be doing that today. So we have a VSC on lap number 1. I've got a broken front wing. So does Hamilton. I'm not going to lie. I think I put Hamilton in a wall there. I think I genuinely did. Think of an example. Let's go for Ocon against Perez, Baku 2017. Let's do that. I think that's what I've done there. So, my apologies, Lewis. We will have to stop, of course. And this Belgian Grand Prix has started out as horribly as it possibly could have. I will, of course, be boxing. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go for a hard stint until the end of the race. There is no point still doing a 2-stop. Unless, of course, a safety car comes out. So, yeah, make our way back to the pits. But what an awful start, and it is my fault. There's no other way of saying it. It just is me. Right, let's get in there. Get a new front wing. Get the hard tyres on. And go from there. And actually, I might have a decent margin over Hamilton as well. So, have a bit of clear air at least. Although you would expect Hamilton to be past me quite quickly, given the fact that he's in that Mercedes and I'm in a Haas. But let's see what tyres he goes on. Of course, he's going to get a new front wing, but I want to see what tyres he puts on. Because if it's obviously mediums, and it is mediums, so he is still committing to a 2-stop. I think. I mean, oh, and Hulk. Wow. Is this the worst race start in the history of this game? So I put Hamilton into a wall when we both break our front wings, meaning I have to stop, and then my teammate Nico Hülkenberg has now had to, end his race, and he's over there by himself. Wow, okay, I apologise, Haas F1 team, that's awful. I don't know exactly what I could salvage, but yeah, let's see. My car still doesn't feel particularly great. I mean, I am on hard tyres and, high fuel, so it might just be that, but yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be able to salvage from this position. I like how the objective they've given me is avoid damaging your wing for 4 laps. Like, that's just mean. Like, that's just not kind, is it? I understand I made a bit of an oopsie on lap 1 and I broke my wing, but I'm not going to damage my front wing driving on my own, am I? Like, it's just not kind. It's rubbing it in at this point, you know what I mean? Alright, I've actually finished my first proper lap. It's a 46.2, which is pretty slow. My pace compared to the people up front is exactly the same. It's still 24 seconds dead, and Hamilton has made his way into my DRS, which I fully expected. And I actually reckon the medium tyre can definitely go to the end. I mean, I've got 3% tyre wear after 3 laps. So the medium tyre can definitely do it. Now, I could probably stay ahead of Hamilton quite easily. I've got a lot of ERS charge, and it is charging up very, very quickly. So I should be able to defend, but if he's going to start costing me time defending, then I am just going to let him go by and maybe try and stick within his DRS, if that's even a possible thing. Right, what is immediately concerning to me is that I believe that Valtteri Bottas has just stopped and he is still 19 seconds ahead of me, which... that can't be right, surely. There's no way he was upwards of 45 seconds ahead of me. There's just no way that that's a real thing. But at least I completed my goal of not damaging my front wing for 4 laps, so that's always a good thing. Hamilton is still behind me, as you can see. It's pretty hard to not see. But I am managing to defend very easily. His straight line speed is appalling, even with the DRS. I just go up here, and then I just leave it on hot lap, and usually he doesn't even come close. As you can see, still a little bit behind you, so did a bit of overtake, and I'm fine, chilling. Uh-oh, through goes Hamilton, might be upon me. He goes to the inside, I've got the outside. Actually, you know what? Hamilton, go through, that's perfectly fine with me, lad. Because I know what's coming. Guess who's got DRS now? And guess who has way better straight line speed than the other person? It's me. Da 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 da. See you later. Bye bye. Hamilton has been re-overtaken. I find myself back up to P18. What a driver I am. I think probably this lap or next lap, the rest of the field are going to start pitting, especially those on the soft tyre. But what's really annoying me is that I thought I'd, you know, be a bit further up by now. Maybe like within 16, 17 seconds, and then I could actually get an advantage. Because what's going to happen here is that I might come out ahead of some of these drivers, but they're going to have way better tyres than me. Now, yes, I do have way better straight line speed, so if I could just get ahead of them, I should be okay, but it's still not great, is it? We can actually see some of the cars stopping. I think I am actually going to get ahead of one of them, and Valtteri Bottas hasn't stopped yet, so he must have been crashed into. Maybe that's why one of the drivers there had a penalty, and here's actually Fernando Alonso, and this is big for me, because I can go to the outside, going into you, Rosie's not what you want to do. You do not want to go wheel to wheel through this thing. I'm keeping it flat, though, balls of steel, and yet somehow Alonso got... No, never mind. Neither of us got DRS. Sick. Yeah, that's exactly how that works in real life. Okay, brilliant. So, I've got ahead of Alonso, Hamilton ahead of Alonso. He's on an absolute rotter, and I've actually managed to get ahead of Bottas as well. So, there is pace in this car yet. Like I said, if I can just get ahead of these cars, I should be okay to stay ahead of them with my superior speed and power. But yeah, it's actually getting ahead of them that is going to be the trouble for something. But, as you can see in the bottom left, there are a lot of cars grouped up together at the moment. I might be able to jump all of them. Although, seeing Albon stop and is still 6-7 seconds ahead of me isn't ideal, to be honest. It's really not. Right, looking at the pit exit in the bottom left, I think I am just going to miss out on overtaking about 7 cars, and I think I am. Here we come around the final corner, and there they are. My goodness, so I don't know what must have happened to Alonso and Bottas, but they are both way behind everyone else, and even after pushing like crazy and driving ultra consistently and fast throughout all of this race so far, I still come out 3 seconds behind Zhou Guanyu, and I reckon it's because they've all got a DRS train. That has to be it. They've all got a DRS train on each other, and they're just pulling each other along. If DRS wasn't a thing in Formula 1, I would have caught up by now. Ultra cringe, and they're not even fighting each other either. So, I can't even catch up based off the AI's mistakes. So, I'll probably end up just staying here in P16, which, to be fair, given the race I've had is, I mean, it's higher than where I started, and that's, you know, that's pretty impressive, really, given how it started with, you know, colliding into Hamilton. Tyres are just starting to give way now, and yeah, Zhou Guanyu has dropped outside of Ricciardo's DRS, and I am still not catching. I suspect because he's just got a very, very large tyre advantage, not only in age, but also in just compound. He's on the softer tyre. In fact, in hindsight, I really should have gone on mediums. They definitely had the ability to go the full distance. I mean, look at Hamilton. He's still on the mediums. He's still going strong. And my tyre wear is still pretty average. So, a little bit of a strategy mistake on my part. And, yeah, so far, this whole race has just been me ruining Hamilton's race. And now I'm also ruining Alonso's race, and that's about it, really. That's this whole race summarized. Cool, Hamilton's had a stinker there. I wasn't even looking, but Alonso must have took him into turn 1, and then Bottas has got him down the straight. That is an unreal bit of stinky business from Hamilton. And now I've got a new challenger, and honestly, I'd rather Hamilton. Alonso has them newer tyres, and he's probably a bit umpy, to be honest, being stuck behind me this whole race. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. And we officially have 3 laps remaining. Here comes Fernando Alonso going into turn 1. He's doing what Hamilton did, and once again, I'm just going to sort of let him, because realistically, at the end of the day, I'm just going to re-overtake him down the straight anyway, and it gives me a bit of a speed boost and a little bit of lap time gain. So, you know, that's pretty good. Here we come. DRS gets enabled. Use a very small amount of overtake, and sayonara. Oh, go on. There you go. Well done. A little bit slower than the Hamilton overtake, but I did want to save at least some ERS for the final 2 laps. But yeah, still chilling, still just ruining the races of the ones behind me. Alright, here we go then. Penultimate lap of the race. Fernando Alonso, I think he's just a bit too far back going into turn 1. That he is. And you might think, well, now you're under threat down the main straight, but I really don't think I am. In fact, Alonso might go for it into your Rouge. Nope, he's going to back off because he's a little baby. I don't know why the AI are so bad at, like, racing in a racing game. I really don't understand it. I mean, look, I've got hot lap on, little bit of overtake, and he isn't even, like, trying. If that's me in that situation, I'm just sending out the inside like I'm silly. Like, I don't know. But I'm not complaining. It allows me to keep scoring these high places of P16. So, yeah. Hang on a minute here. Valtteri Bottas is going for it on Alonso. Go on, lad. Do it for the boys. That could be a fantastic move. It also helps me massively. Gives me a nice little gap going into the final lap. Here they go. Wheel to wheel through the bus stop chicane. Who is going to get that place? They are still wheel to wheel as we begin the final lap. Let's do this thing. Into turn 1, Alonso has managed to keep his place of P17, and to be honest, it's mixed emotions today. What could have been is the main thing at hand, because realistically, if I didn't have that crash at after turn 1, I could have been set for a very good race. Here comes Alonso, though. I'm doing me, like, you know, post-race monologue. I still got to worry about Alonso, but I think I am okay, and that I am. But realistically, when the pack is all bunched up like they have been for most of this race, it is so easy for me to take, like, priority of that and get some moves done. I could have easily scored points today, maybe, or at least got, like, P12, P13 at least. But realistically, I wasn't going to do anything special. I'm just not that kind of guy, do you know what I mean? I'm not Sergio Perez Sakir 2020. And even then, he had 2 safety cars. Realistically, I wasn't going to get up the order unless there were safety cars. Yes, I could have been on the medium compound. That would have helped me out massively, because they probably would have got to the end. But as a whole, my driving today has been exquisite. My lap times have been extremely consistent, very easily holding back Alonso, Bottas and Hamilton, who has fallen back massively. Charlie wins the Belgian Grand Prix. I've driven on the grass for some reason, and Bottas is actually giving it some, going into the bus stop chicane for the final time. It's an enticing fight for P17 and 18. I crossed the line in P16, and Fernando Alonso is going to take 17th, Bottas 18th, Hamilton 19th, and a DNF for my teammate Nico Hülkenberg. That is by far the worst race in this entire series from a results point of view. I mean, you know, basically, you know, a race-ending incident on lap 1, which is still entirely my fault, to be honest. And then, of course, Hülkenberg having a mechanical failure on lap 2. It quite literally couldn't have got worse, really, apart from a double DNF. So here's your final order. Charlie goes from P2 to P1 to take the win. 1 second back is going to be Lando Norris once again with the fastest car, failing to win a race. He does it in real life. He's done it again in the game. George Russell on pole finishes in P3. Sainz goes from P10 to P5. P19 to P9 for Tsunoda. That's what I mean. Look how bunched up these drivers are. 21 seconds, 22, 22, 23, 23, 23. I could have easily got all of these cars if I didn't have that lap 1 incident, which again, is still entirely my problem. It's still 2 places gained, it's nothing special really, and of course the Hulkenberg DNF isn't ideal. I think Fernando Alonso must have had something go wrong, maybe a spin. I don't actually know, someone got a 10-second penalty and I don't know who it was, it doesn't say. But one thing I want to quickly look at before I wrap things up is my lap times, because they were, oh my goodness, that consistency is outrageous. I mean, my slowest lap time was what, a 46.8? Yeah, my slowest lap was a 46.8 and my fastest lap was a 45.8. So 1 second difference in pace from lap 3 until lap 15. Look at that, 46.2, a 1 dead. And then 45.8, 46.1, 5.1, 5.3. I mean, it's not crazy consistent, but it's still pretty good. So, for the standings, those who are interested, that was not English whatsoever. Max Verstappen still leads the championship by 36 points, with Leclerc gaining quite a lot, goes to 61 behind Verstappen. I am, of course, in P6, but honestly, just ignore where I am in the Drivers' Championship at this point. The car is meant to be at the back. I am now at the back. This is like from last episode onwards, from Silverstone onwards. Actually, not even Silverstone. From this episode onwards, I'm always going to be at the back of the grid. Quite similar to my My Team Career Mode series. And then here is the Constructors. Red Bull lead by 51. So, that is going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like the video, of course. And I will see you lot next time. Goodbye.